This is gonna be a very important video, so you guys make sure to watch until the end. Today we are talking about something that most men will never do. Learn how to get between a woman's ears. See, a lot of guys know how to get between her legs, and some guys don't even know how to do that. But you're really on a different level when you know how to get between her ears. See, a lot of guys, they'll say, looks is everything. You know, if you look good, that's what's gonna get the women obsessed with you and treat you well. And you know, that might happen every now and then, but I realize it's a different level when you understand that woman on a deep emotional level, when you can get between those ears like no other man has done. Because a lot of men probably been between those legs, but no man has probably really got deep in that brain. And the first time I really saw the power of getting between a chick's ears is when I had a chick confess she caught a body. You know, I've told this story before, but after this, it really changed my perspective on dating. And see, a lot of guys, they talk about dating and they just talking about what they've done and what they know, but a lot of guys haven't tried different routes. That's why you see a lot of guys like talk about looks maxing and surgeries are so important, because that's all they tried. You know, a lot of guys will shit on guys with good mouthpiece or good game, or even the guys will shit on the body game, but they never been in shape. So I think it's kind of the same way. A lot of guys don't understand the power of getting deep between a woman's ears because they've never done it. But after I talked to this woman, it was the first date, and it was probably 4 hours in the day. It was a pretty long date. Things were flowing very well. I got her to confess she caught a body. And she was already highly interested in me, but after this date, she started treating me very well. Now, some of you guys might be like, Coach, she was just afraid that you was gonna snitch on her. Maybe that could play a role, I don't know. But when a woman talks about something to you that she has never talked about to anybody else, now this was a rare case. You know, most women have a lot of trauma and stuff like that they open up to very few people about, but they have opened up to somebody about. But this chick has never told anybody about the body she caught. So I was the only person. She's like, I used to just tell myself that it was a dream and never happened. I promised myself I would never tell anybody, and I just told you. And this woman treated me so well. I'm talking about anytime we went out, she was paying. Went to her house, she was cooking. And anything sexually, she was down for. And a big part of that, yes, she was attracted to me, but it's also I got deep between those ears on a different level. So that's when I really saw the power of this, and then I kept doing it with other women I've talked to. Now that was the most extreme case. I haven't ran into any other women that out here catching bodies, but I ran into women that got taken advantage of, you know, parents, drug addicts, just stuff like that, very traumatic things. I talked to one girl, her father like took advantage of her half sister or something like that. Just I've heard the craziest stories. And I'd say the first part is like actually be interested in hearing someone's story. People can tell when you're interested and when you're not. And then the next thing is you can't be too judgmental. Because when it really comes to getting in between a woman's ears, I feel like the two main focuses are like you focus on her childhood, traumatic things that maybe have happened to her, and then also like sexual fantasies. Because those are conversations she's not having too often. Those are things she'll talk about. She's gonna feel bonded to you. But see, a lot of these women, they don't open up to their man because he's too judgmental. She's not gonna tell you how many dudes she slept with. She's not gonna tell you about the fantasies she's had, because she knows that will make you uncomfortable and you can't handle the truth. So first you gotta even be real about it. Like, are you even a man that can handle the truth? And if she feels like you can't handle it, you probably can. You know, but if a chick's really rocking with you and she like, oh, this dude's real, that's when she can keep it a being with you more often. You know, so that's the first thing. You gotta have thick skin, and you can't be coming off as judgmental. And this was me in the past. Like, I was way too judgy when it came to a woman's fantasies and her past and stuff like that. And I get it, like I'm not, that don't mean I just take anything. Like a chick could have any type of past and I'm okay with it. But you can't come off like you're judging the woman. That's when she's gonna shut the shit down really quick. That's when she's gonna sugarcoat shit. Because a lot of guys get very uncomfortable very fast, and it's very obvious to the woman. So you kind of there like her therapist, honestly. You sitting there like a therapist, not judgmental whatsoever. And then also you have to share a little bit about yourself. You know, I think when it came to the girl that confessed the body to me, I just told her about, you know, my speech impediment and stuff like that. And that was me opening up to her. You know, so you build a different level of a bond. And see, that date will stand out to her more than the vast majority of our other dates. See, a lot of guys, they think, oh, I need to take her to a nice restaurant, an expensive place, and spend all this money. And then she still doesn't feel a connection with you, but she felt a stronger connection with me. And most of this date was in a car. Most of this date was in a car, but she confessed something she had never told anybody else. That gives you a different level of connection. And even when I slept with this girl, like, this was like the first girl I slept with, and she was like, maybe this is a TMI, but she was like having seizures damn near. Maybe that's fucked up to say seizures, but y'all get what I'm saying. Like, she was, Shawty was wobbly very quickly, very easily. Like, and that's why I say, even when it comes to getting it on in the bedroom, when you understand that woman on a different level, that's when the waters are flowing. I even realized, like, even when you're talking to a chick during sex, that takes the shit to a different level as well. You know, that makes me more into it, that makes her more into it, because I used to be one of the dudes, like, I was super quiet during sex. Now it's like, if you talk to a chick, that's a different level. Especially if she's really rocking with you. So the mind is a powerful thing, man, and that's a lot of guys overlook it. Oh, she's attracted to me, that's a primal nature, absolutely. But there's more levels to it. So I'd say let her do most of the talking. Sit there like a therapist. Don't be judging her, don't be looking at her like she's crazy when she tells you what she's done in the past or what she wants to do. You keep it chilling. You like, oh, for real? Oh, for real? That's why I say, oh, for real? You know, I thought about doing that one time. You know, keep the conversation flowing. And then you can also do things like play Never Have I Ever when it comes to, you know, the sexual fantasies. And they even got like card games to really get a chick to open up too. So there's many routes you can take. But man, after that first chick, man, I really realized the power of just chopping it up with a chick and really asking her deep questions. Like, I'm asking her, and I remember one chick, she told me, like, do you have like a trauma fetish? That's what she said. And I said, I don't think I have a trauma fetish. I just don't like small talk, and I like to really go deep. Like, I like to get to know people, why they act the way they do. And this same chick that's talking about, oh, you got a trauma fetish. Like, I was still smashing this chick when she had a boyfriend, you know? So this other dude, he thinks he has her, but really I'm still in her mind. Really, she's still thinking about me. And one, because I had that physique she was super attracted to, and then two, I got to know her on a deep level. Like, even that girl that I'm thinking of, her darkest moment in her life was when she found her friend that overdosed, you know? So once you really chop it up with a lot of these chicks, you realize, like, a lot of people have like very dark times in their life, and if you can get a chick to open up about that, that builds a different level of connection. And I'm sure you probably have a dark time in your life. That builds a different type of bond. You know, it's cool to smash a chick good and put it down in the bedroom, but when you have that emotional and the physical, that's when she's like really glued to you. And then you on body game, that primal nature of her, you know, you got that physique that turns to a freak. When you combine those three things, dog, you really got her. That's when she's really gonna treat you better than she treated any other man, you know? But I think a lot of guys, they never get to that level, so they don't know the power of it, dog. They don't know the strength of that. And it's not just about getting to know her on a deep level to create that bond, but it's also, do you wanna deal with this chick? Some of these chicks are fucked up, and they're gonna stay fucked up. Because even when you go too deep between those ears and you hear her traumatic past, look how she talks about it. Look how she talks about it. Some of these women, they have never overcome any of that stuff. That's important to know, because it's gonna show up down the road when you're dating this chick. If you wanna marry this chick, it's gonna show up down the road. Like a lot of dudes that, oh, my girl crazy. You didn't chop it up enough with her. You didn't get between her ears. You were just trying to get between her legs before you was trying to cuff her. You seen the way her body looked, you like, ooh, I want her for real. You ready to cuff the chick because she look cute. But you didn't get to know her on a deep level, dog. Even when I'm thinking about getting serious with a chick, I get her to take a test. No bullshit. Ty Lopez created the test, and I'm not trying to promote Ty Lopez, but you know, he followed Dr. David Buss, and I think Dr. David Buss understands human nature probably better than 99.99% of people. So I'll tell the chick to take a test, you know, and I've seen it multiple times. I've had chicks take a test. The same chicks that have like a super traumatic past, a lot of times they'll score 100 out of 100 on anxiety. Like, that's very important. If you want to get serious with a chick and have kids with a chick, like, that's very important. Because some of this stuff is genetics too. So, you know, some of this shit is going to show up in your kids. Like, that's a real conversation to have. I ask chicks, do you take antidepressants? Like, most of these guys just like, oh, she cute, she got a nice body, I'm all the way in. When you have depth to your thinking and when you can get in between her ears and then you make her qualify for you, that's when she's really gonna chase you. That's when she's really gonna fuck with you on a different level. When she has to qualify for you. But first you gotta even be the man that's she willing to put in the work for. Because a lot of you guys think it's just about looking good. Like, no, conversations are very important. First you gotta understand yourself. You can't try to get to understand this woman and you don't understand yourself well. And that's why I think a lot of guys, they don't understand the power of getting between their ears because they haven't even got between their own damn ears yet. These guys that think looks are everything, I need to go get this surgery, I need to go get that surgery, they don't understand how deep this shit gets. They think everything is just about the looks. Looks are important, like I said many times, but it's not everything. The woman is more about how do you make her feel? How do you make her feel? A lot of these guys out here, they think money's everything. The chicks like the money because the money gives you trips. It gives you nice dinners. It gives you fun. But if you could just be a fun guy off the rip, you can talk your shit and she has a great time, whatever y'all doing, that's when you're really winning. Like a lot of guys say, oh, you need money to date. No, you don't. If you got a good sense of humor, if you can talk your shit, if you can make something out of nothing, you don't need a whole bunch of money to date. Man, I done had a lot of dates at the park. I done had a lot of ice cream dates. I done had gym dates. Like I said, I done had dates where the vast majority of the date was in the car. And she's still thinking about me when she goes home because I went in territory that no other man has went. So you can play the game like everybody else or you can really get deep with the shit and that's when you really win. That's when you really separate yourself from the crowd. When you build that bond that no other man has built. Shit gets different, dog. The shit gets different. That's when she's like into you even more sexually as well. Like I said, dudes try to like pick and choose like, oh, this is more important. It's like, all this shit's important. Looks important. The body game's very important because you're gonna perform better in the bedroom. You're gonna look better. Her primal nature's gonna be out there. But also understanding that woman on a deep emotional level, that's important too. Because now you know if you wanna deal with her, you know what you're dealing with. Because I even talked to chicks and like some of these chicks, they wanna get trains ran on them. They want threesomes. But a lot of chicks, they're not gonna be real about that because she worried about being judged. If I had to say, I'd say 1 out of 10 chicks want like a threesome with 2 dudes. Probably 10 to 20% of chicks. It's a lot more common than dudes think. But a lot of these chicks keep a lot of shit on the low. They keep shit under wraps because they know the man can't handle the truth. That's why you gotta come off like you're not judging them at all. You gotta sit there like a therapist. And then you gotta open up about yourself a little bit to not make them feel uncomfortable. And even when you're setting this up, I wouldn't recommend for you to like go on a dinner date and y'all just staring at each other. You know, I like to go on walks. I like to be in the car and we sitting by each other. Or even at the restaurant, sometimes I might sit by a chick. I feel like it makes it more less of like an interview, like I'm interrogating them. You don't want to make it feel like an interrogation. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to, that's when they're going to feel judged. Like it's just a flowing conversation. You just flowing with the conversation. You just asking deep questions. You asking about how her mom was, how her dad was. That's when you can really learn about her. Because the chicks that learned from their childhood, those are the chicks you can consider. But some of these chicks, they'll tell you about their childhood and everything's just blaming somebody else. They'll still talk bad about all of it. Like sometimes you can tell a chick isn't over her childhood trauma. And a lot of these people, they'll never get over it. And that's something you just have to accept, you know? That's just me being real with you guys. Like this shit goes a lot deeper than dudes think. When you can really get between her ears, dog, that's when you got her. When she can open up to you about her sexual fantasies. Maybe you can make some of them come true. You know, now some of these chicks just too freaked out. Some of these chicks too freaked out. They want multiple men and shit like that. Yeah, I'm out with that. But even if I'm talking to a chick, a chick could tell me she wants to get a train ran on her. And she gonna look at me and she think I didn't judge her at all. I might be judging the hell out of her. Like I know damn sure I'm not getting serious with her. But I'm gonna be sitting there and chilling. Okay, it's good, I know that now because what if I would've took her serious? And she still got this fantasy in her head. Now maybe she won't act on it, but you never know. But see, a lot of guys, they too judgy, dog. And I feel like that comes with experience too. When you have less experience, a lot of shit bothers you. You know, what they call it, when she dropped that bop lore on you, like it really bothers you. But once you've been in the game a little bit, you're like, okay, cool. Oh, for real? You ever try to set that up? Like you ain't judging her at all. You know what I'm saying? But man, that's like off y'all today. That like, this the type of shit, dog, if you really apply it, if you really understand how to get between a woman's ears, it will change everything for you. Yeah, you gotta be attractive. Yeah, you gotta be on body game. You know, and even when it comes to being attractive, like, you don't have to be this supermodel runway type guy. It's just like I said, man, don't have this Apache ass beard. Get your skin clear. Brush your fucking teeth. Floss your teeth. You don't have to have fake ass veneers. You know, some of these dudes, they getting these bulky ass veneers in their mouth. You ain't gotta do all that shit. Make sure your teeth are white. You know, brush your teeth in the morning, brush your teeth before you go to bed. Some of you guys might want to get Invisalign, some of y'all might want to get braces. But you don't have to be this drop dead gorgeous runway model, all this goofy shit, dog. You don't have to do all that shit. Cause the dude oh, he's cute, he makes the cut, then he's on Body Game, and then he gets to know me on a deep level. He sit my ass down like a therapist, he get in between my ears. I can tell him whatever I feel comfortable around that man. That's what a lot of dudes overlook. These chicks want to be comfortable with their man. When she can be real with you, she's gonna value that, dog. When she can keep it a bean with you, she gonna value that. And that's when it's like, okay, these surgeries that might take me from, the number system is fucking stupid anyway. Oh, this surgery, it'll take me from an 8 to a 9. That shit's not even gonna fucking matter because you already got her fucking soul, dog. But that's all I got for y'all today. Y'all make sure you like the video, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll catch y'all boys in the next one.